Hi, it's Kate in front of the camera and
Maggie behind.
hey, I'm going to be putting together our Carousel Whizzes.
Yippee!
Okay, so the base is very similar to the multi-medium whiz that we've done before. The components are slightly different. Some are the same and some are slightly different. So we'll crack on anyway. So I've already put the base to the bottom one, which is the one with the hole. So it's a bit smaller than the multi-medium whiz, but that's that one. So I've already done that because it's a bit boring watching me. That's the top shelf, which we'll come back to in a minute. And then this gets screwed to the bottom plate. So as per usual, is I line up that hole with one of these holes, which means you probably end up getting my head in the way, but I'll do my best. So.
No, you were okay.
Oops. So sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. It's a bit... Okay, so I've got that there. So what I tend to do then is I'll get my screwdriver and put it in that hole there. And then if I make this even all the way round, okay, if you're lucky, it might, no it doesn't in this case. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And you just got to manipulate it so it goes around and finds the hole, which it has perfectly. So I've got the hole there, and if I've got two, then I've probably got the other two as well at the back. So now they all meet. Can you see that or not?
Yes, we saw that perfectly.
Okay, because I'm not moving that again.
That's fine.
So basically I just screw these together now.
And
so.
you're using a magnetic tip screwdriver, aren't you, Kay?
It's a lot easier. If you've got one, use it, because it is a lot easier. If you haven't got one, you can use a little bit of blue tack or a bit of sellotape or something sticky on the end.
Double-sided tape's quite good, isn't it?
Yeah.
The one you just whiz backwards and
Yeah,
forwards.
the disadvantage of that is you might end up with a bit of sticky residue.
Yeah.
It's just, but I must say, a magnetic screwdriver would be ideal. And this one even does that, so I can do.
And you're obviously screwing it in very hard, Kay, because the camera's wobbling.
Oh, is it? Okay. So I'm not taking any prisoners. So just
Do you ever?
no, not if I can help it. Right, just screw that together. And I do it finger tight. I don't over tighten it. You don't need to over tighten it. You just need to, just as long as it's finger tight, it's fine. And you've got the access hole. It means that if you do need to at any stage put oil in the bearings, you rarely need to do that. Very rarely, but occasionally you might need one drop of oil in. You go do the reverse process. So you find your screw holes, undo them, then you've got access to your Lazy Susan mechanism. So that is your base. Okay, now you've got your first uprights. Similar sort of size, shape to the inky multi-medium whizzes, except you haven't got the little bit here where the rail goes in, because the rail doesn't go in at the bottom one at the moment on this one. So again, on the longer piece, glue it.
What glue are you using?
Okay, as we always do, I'm using a sticky quality PVA. You can use a wood glue. You can use bookbinding glue if you like. It's a bit on the thinner side, but you can use bookbinding glue if you like. Anything as long as it's a good strong quality one that's suitable for MDF and woodwork, basically.
It's the same as anything with any type of assembly. You need a good quality adhesive, don't you?
Yeah.
Because it's a false, in my opinion, it's a false economy to buy a cheaper one because
we want one that works.
They just don't do the job as well.
So just put those in. So you follow those all the way around. So it's basically once you've got one in, you're doing exactly the same for the other 6 as you go around. So can you see that on the camera?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Kay's just checking up on me because I forgot to take it out of Zoom on the last video, so I was in trouble. Oops.
Yeah, it made a bit of a nightmare to edit them.
She was a bit cross. Right, what technique are you using for applying your glue, Kay, which we can't see? Come forward a bit.
Okay, this is the woodpecker technique. So you just dab it down.
Yeah,
so it stops you. It helps reduce putting too much glue on. Again, you need just enough, which is not a terribly helpful term. But if you get too much glue, and it's counterproductive.
And you'll find it doesn't stick.
Right, so you've got that goes on there, and that goes. Whoops.
So yeah, if you put too much on, you think, oh, it's not sticking. So then you put more on, don't you?
Yeah, you end up
with a mess.
Yeah, you do end up with a mess. But glue is designed to adhere to the surface it's going onto. So it sort of has like a little bond between the two surfaces. And the weak point is the glue to glue one. So you need a bond between the two pieces that you're actually adhering to. If that makes sense. No, it doesn't make sense really, does it? But
now, if you look at the bits that you've got the glue on at the moment, Kay, you can see it's not all centralised.
no,
But that'll line up when you put the top on.
so when you put your top on, it will go, that will do that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's only because it's not quite stuck in properly, and it will do this. Right, this bit I'm standing up for.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, I'll bring that a tad forward. Okay, this is probably the most tricky part, is getting these bits into alternate ones round here. So this either goes on really smoothly, or you curse for ages. So I suspect by that's, oops, I might be cursing for ages. So you just go around and just slot them in. They'll just fit in, and they'll just suddenly come together.
It's really important not to decorate your unit before you put it together,
Okay,
because
so
the tabs
that's
may
not too-
swell.
If you do that, yeah, because if the glue will, oh, God, blimey, that's
Perfect.
good. Okay, who knew? It's not live TV, that's why it worked. Okay, so you've got one. So you've got one alternate ones like that. So obviously, then these ones just slot in to the spaces. So then you put those on as well. So same technique again, a bit of dabbing. Just slot those on.
And everything should fit. Don't force it. If you're forcing it, you haven't given it time to just. You just need to manipulate something else. Might have popped out.
Particularly on this one, when you do that, if you're having problems on this, you might have found that one of the ones underneath have come out of their little holes. So just check that. Because I've struggled for ages, and I thought, why won't? And then realised that one of these at the bottom, can you see that? So one of those at the bottom here would have come out, and that means that these won't fit. So just put those on.
You can really hear the woodpecker now.
She gets disappointed if I don't do that. So.
Do.
So, and that goes on like so. Okay, so that fits in like that. Now what you can do is put a little bit of tape on that, just to make sure that stays nice and circly in the middle, with a bit of masking tape or something, which my glamorous assistant is hunting down as we go.
Just fell over a box.
Okay, so if you just do that while it's drying, and that'll keep that into shape. On the samples that Maggie and I have done, we've put buttons or beads or a little finial on the top there, so it's entirely up to you. So at this point, what I did with mine, I decorated at this point and been careful not to over wet it in this area here. Okay, but if you don't decorate it first, then you obviously put your rails in. Okay, so that's when your rails go in. And I find the easiest way of doing that is putting a blob of glue in each one. Oops.
We've got the rails because the idea is that's going to be like a little storage area on top, really, isn't it?
Yeah, you can put sweeties.
You can put your different scenes on there if you want.
Yep.
Little bottles, whatever you fancy. Ooh, little miniature alcohol bottles would be nice.
That'd be nice.
Kay.
Yeah, I was just thinking, yeah. That would be very nice, actually.
Ooh, I might have to see if I've got any to put on there.
That sounds like a remarkably good idea. And then I've put too much glue on here, but however, you get the general idea. And then they just slot on there. So I tend to put the less charred on side up, but it's entirely up to you. If you're going to paint it, it doesn't make too much difference. Oops.
And the other thing I've noticed with our MDFK is because it's premium quality, I haven't yet found a colouring medium that I can't go straight onto the MDF without using gesso first.
Well, that's good. Yeah, because sometimes you get a better effect not using gesso first.
Yeah. So that's just how I found it anyway, which is really lovely because you know, I'm a bit of a pen collector, so I've been able to use all of them.
So yes, I'm made to find a solution for that.
Yes. She's working on it.
And it's not Maggie stopping buying pens.
No.
That wasn't. She's got somewhere to put them now. Right. Okay. So I've done that like that. Goes around like that, and that is basically your.
Move it that way.
Wait.
That's perfect.
Okay. All right. So that's your carousel bit. Okay. So now we're going to put the figures together. So I'll just put that in front of me. Can you see that? Oh, no. That's good. Okay. So we've got, I'll do the reindeer first as I've just come up here. So you get your sheets with your reindeer on, and you get 12 of little circly bits. You need 2 per
Hold on,
reindeer.
I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Remind me to zoom out afterwards.
Yeah, okay, and then I'm going to cut out one of these with my knife. Okay, so everything's tabbed in, so you just take your knife and just mark it through. And I want my antlers out, so you get 6 antlers, so you obviously want one per reindeer.
It's really clever how you've designed these reindeer, Kay, because they've got front and back legs, different directions.
They have.
Proper 3D.
They have. I think that's Marianne. On the door. Oh no, I was hearing things. I am definitely hearing things. Right, so you need that, and you get. I've also done some saddles because it's a merry-go-round, and those are the same. Let's try some that aren't the same. So they come in pair. Again, they come in pairs as well. That's it. That's a pair. Okay, so you've got 6 of those. So you've got those bits there, and your reindeer come in sheets like this. So you get one sheet like that, and then you get your opposite one like that. So I'll just cut out. Have I done that? Yeah, I've that one. So one of those, and one of these, and just push them from the back. Now be careful because the legs are a bit on the thin side, so you don't force them out. Just push them out gently.
Can you just do me the 2 reindeer nearer to you, showing the 2 different sizes, the ones you've cut out?
What?
That's it, like that, yeah. And then the ones you've popped out, so you can see the difference.
So you got one where the legs goes like that, and the front legs go like that. So it'll be obvious when you put them together. So you end up with per reindeer, you have one of these. Okay. So just put those to one side. So that's your middle bit, and you put your reindeer will fit onto here like that. So if you've got little tabs like that, you can just sand those little bits off if you want to.
Can you slow down a little bit?
Yeah. So I'm going to go a bit of glue on there, and you put your reindeer on top. Right, and now you just need to manipulate it so it just matches up. So while the glue dries, and and I tend to make sure that that bit is slightly underneath, otherwise he ends up with pieces of the anatomy that you probably don't want to see on a fairground.
Just colour it in.
Okay, so you just move that one there. So I've just put probably too much glue. So you're just taking the excess off. Okay, and then so that's the front, because I've got on there, you've got the twisty bit that you have on a pole.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you turn them over, and on this piece here you put a bit of glue on this side, and I put a squidge of glue on that little slot there. Okay, that will come apparent in a minute, and then your other side of your reindeer goes on top, like that. So, again, manipulate it so everything matches up. So you should be able to do, match them up there. So if they're slightly off, don't worry too much about it.
You might find the original one moves a little bit to start with, doesn't it? And
yeah, because
you manipulate them all together.
Yeah, I did put a little bit of extra glue on. So you've got, so it goes like that. Okay, so you've got your reindeer that does that. Okay, like that. And then on that side it does that. Okay, now this is where could you put your glue into that piece there? So you've got a little blob of glue there.
Hold on. Okay.
Okay, and your antlers just slot into, and that is your antlers. Okay, and that is your little reindeer.
Lovely. Can you just turn him around a bit? So
yeah, I was just manipulating him a bit. Okay. Now if you want to, so it sits there like that. Okay?
Cool.
So
lovely.
That's your reindeer. Okay? So you've got front and back. Okay? So what you can do is also, if you want saddles on him. So you can put your saddles on. I'll put them that way round. You can put them either way round. It's entirely up to you. So I'm going to put a little bit of a saddle on. So a little drop of glue. Again, it's optional. If you don't want a saddle, don't put it on. Okay, and you can paint the saddles on afterwards, and then stick them on later. And when you're doing your painting, just bear in mind that you can see your legs from both sides. and the ears and the tail.
So you're saying do the inside ears and tails as well,
yeah, as well,
otherwise
and
you'll
the legs.
notice it.
Yeah.
And it's much harder to paint it once they're fixed in place, believe me.
So,
Because I forgot on the first one.
okay, so I've got the reins and what have you. So you can paint over those, and you can still see them through sometimes. So that gives you the idea where you're going to colour afterwards if you want to. So that is your reindeer there.
Fab.
Okay, so while he's drying, I'll show you the unicorns and horses, and then I'll show you how to put them in. Okay, so don't lose these pieces because they're important. Okay, so we'll just put that there for a minute. Our horses. Again, you get 2 sheets of horses, and you get a sheet with these pieces on here. Obviously, you get 2. So I'll just take some of those out. So you get 2 per reindeer or horse. And it's up to you whether you want reindeers or
Unicorns.
horses. Sorry, unicorns or horses, duh. Sorry, unicorns or horses, that's what I'm doing. Okay, what you will notice that these are different. In the reindeer ones, these poles and the inner bits are all the same. But in these ones, I've done it so 2 are shorter, so they look like when you're in the carousel, they go up and down. So on the taller ones, yeah, if you haven't got much room here, you'll find that you can't put your unicorn horn on, so you probably want those on the lower ones. So I'll just not mention that. So you take one out. So you've got all 6, so you can do all 6 the same. And you either want to do horses, mane. So that's a horse's mane at the front, and that's a unicorn horn. One of those. So I'm just going to.
When you pop them out, Kay, I'll zoom in. So.
Yeah, I'll do 2. Like that. So if I've got everything I need. Oh no, I need saddles. I need saddles, and again they've got the same saddles as the reindeer. That's it, and you've got your saddles. Okay, so you've got those. So that's going to be unicorn, and that's going to be my horse. And I've got 2 bits there, and I've got a saddle. I've got pairs of saddles. So hopefully that's a pair. And easily enough, that's a pair. There we go. Who knew?
What's that little bit near the? That's that bit.
That's the mane for the horse.
Right. Let me just zoom in, just so you can see it. Yeah,
right, okay, so
tiny. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so those there. So I'm just going to move those to the front when I get these, and I want one side for each horse. So I think I did. Yes, I did. I knock those out. So I got one of those for that one, and one of those for that one, and that one. Did I tip it? No, I didn't. So just put your knife in there and just break your tab and just push that through. Okay, and one for that one. Okay, so we'll do horsey first. So exactly the same as I did before. I'm going to put some glue on here.
Excuse me. Just going to move that out of the way.
And I think, do I want to do that one or not? Yes, I do. Yeah, I do.
So you're doing the horse first?
Yeah, I'm doing the horse first. So you put your glue on the body and stick your horse on. And again, you're manipulating it again so it fits round so that your mane is in the middle this time round, right, and your tail is in the middle as well.
Let me zoom in.
You can zoom in. I'm just removing it and positioning it. Okay.
Because the reindeer one, if you've watched the reindeer first, the reindeer doesn't have a main bit at all. It just all fits flush, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is a slightly different.
Okay, so just tip. That's it. Perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
So so your mane, that's your mane, and that's your tail, and that's what they look like on that side. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you turn it over. Okay, and again you've got your little slot there, so you want to put a little bit of glue on the body. So I'll put slightly less glue this time around so it's not so sticky, slippery. And a little bit of glue in the middle there, and put your other horse on. And these times the legs match on these horses because they're galloping on your reindeer. So just another thing is just to be careful that you don't put it on the main bit. Okay, so you just manipulate that so it lines up together like that. Okay, so can you see that?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. Right, so don't forget, again, your horse's legs can be seen from both sides, so you need to paint his head, legs, and yeah, head and legs basically. Okay, like that. Okay, and then the front bit of the mane
Hold on.
just slots in like that. Because just put a little bit of glue in there and it just holds it in place. Can you see that?
Right, I'm zooming in. Right, can you come towards me a smidge? Back a bit. Perfect. So you can just put your finger where the mane is. Perfect.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Have you zoomed out again?
I'm zoomed out again.
Okay.
Yes.
Just checking.
Right, the wise move.
Okay. So I'm going to put some saddles on. So a horse has saddles. So I'm going to do. So it doesn't matter which way you have your saddle. As I don't ride horses, I have no idea which is more correct. If either. So, right. There we go. So squidge that. Take the excess glue off my finger. And that is your horse. And that does that.
Lovely.
Okay, and again, I'll just leave that to just set. Okay. Because this isn't precision, you could actually decorate this before you put them together. The only proviso I would have is be careful when you're doing your pole, is that you don't want to make that too wet. You don't want this to swell, because otherwise it'll make it difficult to get it into the locking pieces later. Okay, so I should put that away to set. Stand
It's
there.
just galloped off.
Yeah, it's just galloped off. Now I'm just going to, I was going to use this for my unicorn, but I just realised it's quite a one that when it goes into the carousel, the unicorn is going to be, not going to be that much room. Is from the top of the carousel. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to find one. I'm going to get another one, which gives you a bit more room. So I'll do.
It's the bottom bit that's shorter, isn't it?
This is. I'll try and get it right. So yeah, that is the higher one, isn't it?
It's that one you want.
Yeah, it's one underneath. Yeah. So I'll use this one here. So I just cut.
No, it's the other one you want.
So I might cut this one. Hold on. And that one. Okay, so this one is quite high. And when I put it together like that, that one's lower. This one's lower.
Oh, right, okay. And the other one's even lower, isn't it?
Yes. So,
yeah.
So this is the highest one, and I'll suggest you probably wouldn't want to put your unicorns on that one. You can do, they will fit. But your unicorn to horn will go to the top of the bottom of the carousel. Top, if you see what I mean. But this one's a bit lower, so this one comes down a bit lower, so we'll use this one for the unicorn.
And there is a lower one, isn't there, as well?
Yeah, there's a lower one still. Okay, so exactly the same again. It's as you did for the horse, there's a little bit of glue, and put your first one on and line them up like so. Turn them over. Oops, like that. And then you're going to put a bit of glue there, and again you're going to put squidge glue in that piece there. That's where the unicorn horn's going to go. And you put your rest of your horse together. So it lines them up, and your mane just goes by the ears. So just push that together. Okay, so when you're happy with that, squidge. Now, I'm turning a horse into a unicorn by shoving, or putting.
Placing.
Placing is probably better than shoving, isn't it? My unicorn horn in there like that, and again I've moved everything now. So just put it back together. So it's now a unicorn. So just squidge it around. Because I've put lots of glue on there, it's quite slippery, so I can just move it around until I'm happy. That's it, and now I've got a unicorn.
Perfect.
Okay, so obviously I want a unicorn because I want to ride my unicorn on my carousel.
Where are you going to go? So
I don't know. I'm going to go around in circles on my carousel. And I'm going to put the saddle the other way around now. Like that. Okay, so we've got our unicorn. Okay,
lovely.
So I'll put those on there. So now I'll show you how to put them into your carousel. So that's the carousel we made earlier. is show you how to put the horse in so you can see exactly what's happening without my fingers being in the way. So I'm going to put that piece on here and that bit goes on here. At this point you would put glue on that piece and glue on the bottom there. Okay, but while I'm showing you how to do this, I'll do this. So you put it in like that. This will be obviously flat on your surface, and then what you'll do when you're happy that that line there is the same as the pole. I can't actually see what I'm doing, so I can't see if it is.
You're doing it brilliantly. Okay.
So, and then that, then when you're happy with that, that will just slide down there and stick because it's got glue on it.
That is brilliant.
Okay, then what you will do is push that up to the top, as it will be then, because that's got glue in it, and it will stick. Then you will hold it for a couple of seconds until it's stuck, and then it'll be fine. Because as you can see, the reindeer I did earlier is already stuck. Okay, so when you're happy with that, and then move on to the next one. I will now push it down and then stick it in with glue. Okay.
That was brilliant. It really showed it well.
Right. So. Okay, so you put your glue on to the bottom. Okay, and you just carefully hold it, don't let it glue over yourself, everything else. Then glue on the top bit. Okay, and then you position it underneath until you're happy. And when you're happy, you put the bottom one down and the top one up. And you can just rotate it around a bit until you're absolutely happy where you're happy. And when you're happy, it's straight all round. Just move, oops. Just move it slightly that way a bit. And that just sits in there like that. Can you see that?
Upper tip. That's it. Perfect. Yep.
Okay.
Lovely.
All right. There we go. Right. Okay. And I'll just do the same for the unicorn.
This is going to be a nice mixed one, isn't it?
It's going to be a mixed one.
I like it with all three on.
There we go. Okay, so again, you would put it, I'll just position it and I'm fairly happy with it, right about there. And you'll slide that down and you just bring that up to the top, which you might not be able to see. Okay, and then you can just manipulate that round a bit so they're all facing the same direction and they're galloping along. So you've got a couple of minutes just to move it around a bit if you're using a good quality glue. Okay, so that's...
Down a bit and tip